What's up, guys? How are you? Welcome into a Saturday morning episode of the Daily Juice Podcast. My name is Matt Perrault. You guys can follow me across all socials at SportsTalkMatt. Every morning, this podcast is always being brought to you by OmahaSteaks.com. Father's Day sale going on right now. Promo code is JUICE. Go check out all the great things you got available for Dad this Father's Day at OmahaSteaks.com. Use that code JUICE at checkout for savings across the entire site. All right, so I do not know what happened tonight. Everything's in play right now. It is currently 9 o'clock Eastern time. I have been awake a really long time. I mean, a really long time. Got on a red eye, slept for about 2 hours, got here to New Hampshire, did my other show, The Bostonian versus the Book, and then kicking around, had some dinner, and now I got to go to bed. So I am banged up today, okay? So this is not going to be a long podcast by any means. This is going to be kind of a quick one and just tell you what I'm betting, and we hopefully have a good Friday. Let's have a good Saturday. Let's start in the NBA with the Celtics at the Pacers. I do not understand the movement to the under on these games. It happened again from 224 down to 222. I really struggle with this. I don't really understand why the pros are betting under, but they are. 4-1 over the last 5 for both Boston and Indianapolis. Indianapolis at home this year was 29-18 to the over. Indy against the Eastern Conference was 41-25-1. Indy has gone over 4 consecutive games, all with totals right around 225. For the Celtics, they also have gone over their last 4 games, Indiana and for Cleveland. Their numbers have been a little bit lower at 204, 205, but for the most part, Boston has dominated, and Boston has scored a lot of easy baskets. Let's go over 222 here. Celtics and Indiana Pacers for 1 unit. I don't understand what the number is. It just drives me nuts, but it is what it is. Over 222 for 1 unit. Celtics on the road for Game 3 against Indiana. 2 player props for you. The first, I'm going back to Derek White. Over 25.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I do believe the ball is going to be his hand a lot. I think he'll pass the basketball a lot. I think he'll rebound the basketball a lot. And just a really good all-around player. There is no Obi Toppin prop, by the way, up at the moment. At the time of taping, there is no Obi Toppin points. He's gone 2-0 for us on points. Now with Halliburton being questionable, if that number pops, I think you do got to jump in here and take Obi Toppin over on his points. But because he's not available, let's take a look at the best point guard on this team and what I think is going to be sort of like a rainbow rolled up and fed to the public for a while about Russell Westbrook with just in the NBA period. In this game, though, whether they play somebody from the G League or not, I just think it's going to be a really hard matchup for Dallas. You got a team that is looking for a big win, a staple win, and a team that I think people are going to be really hesitant to back. And I think we're going to get a decent price here for them on what they think is going to want to happen in Game 3 of the Eastern Conference Finals. You know, Celtics going up against the Indiana Pacers. I'm going to go ahead a couple player props. I'm jumping in Derek White over 25.5 points, rebounds, and assists. We bet it yesterday. Again, I would bet Obi Toppin over 8.5 points, but there is no Obi Toppin price. The books just said forget it. We're not putting it up. So I got to go find another player prop that I like besides going ahead and taking the over points, rebounds, and assists at 22.5 for Derek White. I am going to look here and say, okay, where can I make the biggest impact? Where can we find some value? I think Derek White is one, okay? And Peyton Pritchard is the other. I mean, Peyton Pritchard over 7.5 points is minus 110. The guy's going to shoot a bunch of threes tonight, okay? Like he's going to have the ball in his hands. He's going to be shooting a lot of shots. He's been driving the ball pretty well. It's only 7.5. Peyton Pritchard over 7.5 for 0.55 units. So to win a half a unit coming back. All right. So we're going Celtics Pacers over 222. Points, rebound, assists combined for over 25.5 for Derek White. And we're taking Peyton Pritchard to go over 7.5 points at minus 110 for 1.1 units. One more bet to give you guys here today, and it's in Major League Baseball. Good slate of games on Friday. A lot of fun games to get into. I was looking at the Braves and the Pirates a bit today. I was looking at Atlanta and Pittsburgh for a time today, but Atlanta and Pittsburgh is where I'm going to jump into here. You've got Lopez against Keller. It's a 105 start, maybe a sleepy start here. 8.5 is the total. I'm going to bet under. Ronaldo Lopez has been tremendous, 2-1 with a 1.54 ERA. Mitch Keller, 5-3 with a 3.84 ERA. Not horrific, just not outstanding for either team to lose key cogs. The Pirates have lost, with tonight, it would be three games in a row. Hopefully they win them tonight, and then they can go back home and lose to the Braves. But Atlanta's 13-10. I'm taking Atlanta on the money line here to win the game against the Braves. Atlanta to win the game is a little bit pricey. It's minus 150 for Atlanta to come in to jump it, but I think it's a good play. I think it's a play that you can get behind and feel pretty good about. And look, I don't know what the Phillies and the Rockies are going to do tonight. We have to kind of wait and see how that whole thing plays out. But, I lean towards the Braves to win the game, and I think the Braves will wind up winning the game. Nola and the Phillies is minus 235. You can do some semblance of a parlay if you want to jump in and get creative with those, because I do think both those teams are going to wind up winning. But, man, it's hard right now to look at some of these teams and trust what some of these teams are going to wind up doing just because they're starting pitching or they're hitting. It's not all that reliable at the moment. So, to me, I just think it's time just to jump in here. I'm actually going to bet the under. Braves, Pirates, under 8.5 is minus 115. Why? Mitch Keller's been pretty good. It's been, a decent starter. And we know that Lopez has been tremendous for the Braves so far this year. I like the Braves to win the game, but I'm going to go and bet under 8.5, minus 115 for 1.5 units officially. Okay? So, 1 NBA total, 2 NBA props, and 1 Major League Baseball game bet here for Saturday. We're taking over 222 Mavericks and for the Mavericks game up against the OKC Thunder. We're taking Peyton Pritchard over 7.5 points. Derek White over 25.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Over 222 for the game for the Celtics and the Pacers here coming up in game number 3. And we're going under 8.5 Braves and the Pirates here for Major League Baseball. My name is Matt Perrault. Follow me across all socials at Sports Talk Matt every morning. Daily Juice Podcast always being brought to you by OmahaSteaks.com.